know, I feel like it was pain wrapped up like a cocoon in joy.
And emerging as a butterfly.
Yeah. And you know, it's
That's
interesting.
beautiful.
My name, Vanessa, means butterfly,
Butterfly.
in Greek. I didn't know that.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that till fairly recently. That I was like, wow.
Uh-huh.
But, you know, it was joyful pain. It's, you know. But life is beautiful pain. You
Yes.
know,
Yes, it
there's
is.
so much joy, but there's so much pain in it. There's, you know.
I think, and I would love to hear what you have to say, because I know a little bit about how your opinions and what you think about this, but please expand on, we are spiritual beings living human experiences, because I feel like a lot of people believe or get so caught up in what they see, that what they see winds up being what they experience or allow themselves to experience, versus working from the inside out. They're working from the outside in. And I think somewhere in there, it just gets lost. It gets lost. And just your connection with energies and just everything. I mean,
well, I have a big, and this might offend people, but you know, I'm never afraid to offend. You know, if it's going to incite conversation and make you really think of things differently, then you know what, offend all over. Offend. You know, I think I have an issue with institutionalized religion. You know,
yes.
I was as a kid, I saw so many different religions. I was put in different Bible classes, and you know, I was exposed to all these different. And one of my big issues with religion was always like, well, why do I have to be afraid of God?
Exactly.
Why do I have to fear this omnipotent, omniscious, you know, all-knowing, omnipresent thing or being? And why does it have to be, you know? And I think also one of the major things that really threw me off about religion was because, according to religion, my family was living in sin. You know, and my second mom, who was the butch, she called us, yo soy butch. You know, she was living in sin, and that made her, that perpetuated this self-hatred in her and this like guilt in her that I saw, and it hurt me. It still hurts to think about it, because she loved me so much, and I would not be who I am were it not for her. So for them to tell me that she was sinning and was going to go to hell, I was like, this is ridiculous.
Exactly.
You know, love is love. You know?
Yes.
And I couldn't buy into all that, you know. So I think I really came into my spirituality with my daughter, because I rejected spirituality and I rejected religion and I didn't really know, and I knew that something was out there. You know, but also coming to terms with my pain and what I've been through, and you know, it also helped me take ownership of my life, you know, becoming spiritual. And you know, if you don't believe in God, just be pregnant for 9 months. You believe.
Yes,
and
you
feel
will.
this.
Yeah.
Your body creating a life.
Yeah, it's.
There is nothing more spiritual than that.
No, there isn't. I can definitely attest to that.
You know, and now, you know, when I'm feeling off, I go and I walk in the woods, and there's signs all over the place. You know, this morning with the hawk, you know, I have me and nature are at one, and like sometimes I'll have a heavy day, and usually when that happens, I go into the park and I just walk and I hike and I think and I pray and I talk to my gods and my muertos and, you know, the wood nymphs. I talk to, because there's so much around us, you know. And I talk to God, and I see signs. Like today, just walking through the woods, and they were so quiet. Usually I hear the bluebirds, but to use like earlier, I was like, that's a bluebird. And it was like they creeped up on me. They were really silent. And it was like a flock of like 7, 8, and they were just all just looking at me, and I was like, oh. And I felt it inside of me, like they were like, yo, we're here, we ain't going nowhere, you know. And there's that reminder that you're not alone, and that these spirits are working for you, you know, this idea that some people have that, you know, you cry out to the universe to help you or to God to help you, and there's deaf ears and nobody's there listening. No, the universe has been working for millennia. For millennia, for you.
Yeah.
For all of us.
For all of us, yeah.
You know, and, you know, but we have free will. And when we get to those points, those crossroads, you know, I feel like the universe holds its breath to see what we're going to choose. You always got to choose wisely. You know, you don't always. But still, there are lessons to be learned that you need to learn.
Exactly.
You know, being spiritual is not about expecting shit to work out just because. You have to do the work.
Yes.
You have to do that internal work. You have to do, you know, you want to write. You know, but like Paulo Coelho says, you make a decision, the universe conspires to make that happen, and it does.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
You
I
have
am
to
a
pay
firm
attention.
believer. Yes, I was about to say,
You know?
it's all a matter of paying attention to everything that
Yes.
happens and why it happens and how it ties together.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people kind of get caught up in the no, but I wanted this now, and the disappointment, or they get caught up in the anger during a certain moment in their
Yes.
life that they can't get out of it, and they don't see the flip side of it,
Yeah.
which is the beneficial side.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, you know, like they say, you may not always get what you want, but you always get what you need. You know, and sometimes what we want isn't going to serve us, so you're not going to get it.
Exactly.
You know, but you also have to have faith. You know, when I quit my job, I didn't have anything lined up.
Wow.
I had nothing lined up. I just knew that I had to do it. I felt it. You know, Vona, you know, I told you about Vona. I did Vona last year and I did it this year. And Vona was one of those defining moments. You know, I saw myself and I loved myself, you know, and I was like, wow, this is who I am. This is beautiful. That's amazing. You know, and when I left Vona, I said, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to start performing and I'm going to move. That's what I said. Because I said I was going to move to Inwood. The time I went back to Vona this year, I had quit my job. I had moved and I was starting performing.
Nice.
You know, and again, you put that energy out, you're going to get it.
Exactly.
You know, but I put in the work.
Yes, it's
So
not
that
just
I
a matter
could
of
do
the
it.
word. It starts with the word,
Exactly.
however, well, with the thought, I should say, and then
yes.
evolves.
Then you
into-
have to put the work into it,
Right.
you know. So I started putting the work into it. I started performing more. People started hearing about me. I started going to different events. I put myself out there, you know, and I started leading workshops and you know, this teaching artist, one of the teaching artist gigs that I have, I met this guy at a party. The day before I went to Vona, I met this guy. I had quit my job. I didn't have anything lined up, you know. But before I left my job, I gave him 3 months notice.
Okay.
Before I left, I got a gig. So I was like, all right. So I knew my bills were going to be paid. You know, I filed my taxes late so I could get that money late. Like I was, you know, I wasn't completely like crazy about it. I was calculated, you know. I met this guy at a bachelor party. I'm the only female of this gang of like this group of guys that I hung out with at Columbia that I'm still the only girl. You know, they're like, yo, you one of the dudes. So I went to a bachelor party for my boy who just got married. And I met this guy and he was like, oh, you're a writer. And I was like, yeah, I'm a writer. I teach. He was like, yeah, you know, let's exchange cards. You know, this is what I do. It's called Sing for Hope. And I met him and we talked later and I got a gig through him. And I'm still teaching for that. And I love it. I'm teaching, and funny, I'm teaching social activism through the arts. So is that not
That's
fitting? You know, and my module, and you know, what I teach is social activism through writing. You know, and that's just the way the universe works, because I put it out there. I said, this is what I want to do. I started putting the work towards it, and I just started getting these gigs, you know. Saturday I had an all-day conference at NYU. I work with some of the students there. They're amazing. I helped them, you know, get some people for the conference. because one of the things I love to do is work with young people. You know, not just kids.
Planting seeds.
But yeah,
and
exactly.
it's never too late to do that.
Exactly.
I don't think.
Exactly. And this is just stuff, you know, where you putting yourself out there and doing the work and just being involved, and you know, it comes. You have to believe that it comes, because it will.
Yes.
Because it will. Sometimes you have to just jump and say, I'm gonna do it, and take that chance. Because I can't live my life thinking I should have done this and I didn't.
What ifs will kill you.
Yeah.
What ifs will kill you. Definitely.
You know? So yeah. Like that. And like that. Any more questions?
No, I think we're good. Yeah. Thank you
you.
so much
Thank
for your
you.
time. You
Thank
are amazing, and I'm sure that everyone who not only reads about you, but especially sees this and gets a taste for who you really are, past the black and white on paper or computer screen,
Yeah.
will love you even more and keep passing the word.
Gracias.
Gracias a ti.
All right, good.